tonight on Dateline.
I'm Lester Holt, and now we delve into the mystery of 5 university students not elected. Where did they go? What's vibin', ladies? Welcome to another episode of Week Queens. My name is Hailey.
And I'm Jolene.
And we're your co-hosts.
Welcome to the week of February 23rd to 29th.
Leap year, baby.
It is leap year. Congrats to all those people who are turning 5 this year that are in university. Big shout out to you. So, thank you guys so much for the support you've given us so far, and thank you for coming back and giving us another listen.
So, student elections are coming up.
That they are. This Thursday and Friday, you're going to get a lovely little email in your inbox. Please click on it and vote away, babies.
But, why should you? What's the big deal with student elections or elections in general anyway?
Yeah, what is voting? What is Busu? Why should you care? Well, Busu represents Yousu.
Okay. I wasn't ready. Oh, that they do, Sue.
I literally said that with a straight face, and I can't believe that.
Do, Sue.
Right, so the Brandon University Student Union was founded just over 50 years ago and have since implemented a lot of, really good programs over the years.
That's including, the health and dental plan since 2008, club funding, yours truly.
Printing services. The cheapest on campus, by the way. Do not go to the library. Honestly, you're paying double. They've also got a lost and found there.
I've lost my phone and my keys many times.
That's rough.
Yeah, but it's always there. They have the student food bank, the Paw Pass in association with a lot of local businesses.
They have the U-Pass, the public transport, which they've been doing since 2010. Actually, a very important thing coming up about that this year, guys, in the voting email that you're going to get, there is, as part of the U-Pass referendum, I believe they might be talking about upping the prices of the U-Pass because the deal that they did strike with Brandon City Transit, is coming to a close, likely. So I guess you'll also have to vote on that. Do we need the U-Pass?
Yes.
And there's many other things they do. You can just, head on over to their website and find out for yourself if you really want to know.
But, why vote, though? When we get that email, why click on it? Why vote?
Well, like I said, and I'm not going to say it again, the Busu electives are here to advocate for you. The people you elect can make a difference.
So, clubs and collectives are important. Funding and services are provided by Busu.
The people that you vote for have a direct impact on which clubs get that funding. Including us. When we applied for funding, we were lucky to get the amount that we had applied for, but if we had elected a council that maybe wasn't so keen on funding new clubs, that might not have been a possibility for us.
Shout out to Busu. How union money spent is important. Union members have control over how and where funding is spent.
So that impacts the things that happen on university campus. We have been waiting for a student lounge to be built for the past couple of years since Suds left due to bankruptcy and Forbidden Flavors moved from their original location. So, union money is spent on that. Busu is funding that, and it's coming along slowly.
But you guys, there is always room for improvement. If you're unhappy with how your union is running, you get a say in how to improve that. And one of the ways in which you get to have your say is by voting. That is your right.
It is your right and your responsibility in this democracy of a university campus. No, but it is important to vote in all elections. I mean, not just student elections. So another thing that Busu does for you is they actually represent you in any cases you have against the school. So should there be any, trouble that comes up, they are the student union, so they are your representation, much like they were the representation of the nursing students in that health studies faculty. Scandal. Discrepancy. I don't know if I want to call it a scandal.
I want to call it a scandal because then it sounds juicy.
Yeah, but I know some of the people that were in that, and,
I don't, so I can detach.
Did you know, the Busu put out this statement? I screenshotted it.
A statement?
They put out a statement about it.
Receipts.
Let me see if I can find it here. Great. February 3rd, 2020. Oh. The Brandon University Student Union press statement.
A press statement?
Yeah, this is their press statement. Busu continues to have extensive, proactive, and productive meetings with the Dean of Health Studies faculty.
I thought you said provocative.
Provocative. Yeah, they're having provocative meetings. I don't think so. Productive meetings. With the Dean of Health Studies faculty, representatives of the Part 2 nursing students, president of Brandon University Health Studies Student Association, and Faculty of Health Sciences director. So Busu has developed with the university proposals to consider changes to admission criteria and student evaluation processes. We remain concerned about the initial blanket penalty and will continue to press the university to revise policies to prevent this in the future. Busu is of the opinion that the blanket penalty was wrong and against natural justice. Busu, without compromising the academic policy of the university, thinks that the technology available today makes it no longer appropriate for any faculty to depend totally on publishers to set academic exam questions. We will continue to work on behalf of the students to ensure that their voices are heard.
Cool.
So yeah, they are the student representation in that. So that's just another thing that they are there to do for you. And I mean, you do pay them to do it. It's a non-optional fee, student union fees. Just like workplace union fees.
But yeah, who's running? Who are you potentially voting for?
And what are they doing?
Yeah.
What is the point of their existence?
So who are you voting for? You're voting for a president.
What does the president do?
Well, the president oversees the leadership and direction of the entire Brandon University Student Union. As just like a generalization.
And so we've got 3 people actually running for president this year. We have, and I'm very sorry, this is going to happen, I think, a lot with people's names. I have a tough name to pronounce as well, like my last name, not my first name. So I apologize if I pronounce your names wrong.
It's spelled O-S-Z.
Yeah, it is, and that just really fucks people up. So, running for president, you have Olusola Akintola, who is actually the current president, so he's running for re-election. You have Whitney Hodgins. She is the current VPI. I'm impressed with her, strategy so far. She had free suckers. They were all over Clark Hall.
I love Candy.
Candy's great. And you have Zach Rosendahl.
And you also have the vice president external and the vice president internal. So, vice president external is responsible for student groups, overseeing events, activities, and campaigns.
So they are the ones that directly deal with clubs.
Yeah. And vice president internal is responsible for internal matters like budget services, advocacy, bylaws, and policies.
So, running for Vice President Internal, you have Abisode Janet Akintola, who is the current part-time and mature students director. And you also have Tyler Kilbride. And then running for Vice President External, who is gonna win because they're the only one running. And I mean, I understand that on a personal level. I really do. That's Gaynell McCaddy.
And then you get into stuff that's a bit more, I don't know, specialized?
Maybe? Yeah, more
narrowed down in terms of,
It's all, about representing the diverse needs of students and the different faculties on campus.
So you have the arts director, who ensures that the interests related to art students are fairly and adequately represented.
And then you also have the women's director, who ensures the interests related to female students at BU are represented.
The accessibility director, who ensures the interests related to accessibility-based students are represented.
And running for accessibility's director is Max Kemp, who will also be winning. Congratulations to Max Kemp.
Honestly, I think, it's not necessarily my space to say, but I think there's definitely a lot of accessibility issues on campus that can be addressed. Like, I have classes with a couple students who are wheelchair bound, and one time the elevator in our building was out of service, and they literally could not get to class any other way, and it sucks, and I don't know necessarily how it would be remedied, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed more, because I think you can count on one hand probably the amount of ramps or elevator services we have on campus.
I think you could do both. Ramps on one hand and then elevators on the other.
Yeah. I forgot about the health studies building because, once again, it looks nothing like the rest of the campus.
No, it's very new. It's very contemporary.
It looks nothing like it. Even if they kept the color scheme as being a bit more brown, but they made it a completely glass and black building.
Moving on to science director, who ensures the interests related to science students are represented.
You have the racialized director, who ensures that the interests related to racialized students are represented.
And actually, we have 3 people running for that title. We have Caleb Efore, Amanda Hutchinson, and Jennifer Omareji.
You also have the education director, who ensures the interests related to education students is represented. The residence director, who ensures the interests related to resident students are represented.
And then the health studies director, who ensures the interests related to health studies students are represented.
We have 2 people running for that position, Olufunke Adele, Janetti and Gamara.
Best of luck to you, too. We have the queer director, who ensures the interests related to queer students are represented.
You have the international director, who ensures the interests related to international students are represented.
So running for international director, we have Valentina Egbrimonelin. I apologize, guys.
Dude, that's a wicked
rough
name, though.
I know, I'd really like
Valentina, if you're listening, gotta give it up. What a cool name.
I'd really like to know how these names are pronounced. I should go meet these people.
The music director, who ensures the interests related to music students are represented.
Give it up for Sofia Rivera.
Heck yeah.
Rivera? Sofia Rivera. That's it, right there. Congratulations on winning music director.
And we have the Indigenous Peoples Director, who ensures the interests related to Indigenous students are represented.
Congrats to Christina Kashane, who will be winning that position.
We have the part-time/mature director that ensures the interests related to part-time and or mature students are represented.
And then we also have the KDC board student at large ×2, because there's 2 of them. And they represent the interests of Busu and all students at KDC board meetings.
And then there are Senate positions, which represent the interests of all students at Senate meetings: arts, education, science, health studies, music, and student at large.
So those are all the positions. As you can see, not all of them are filled. There's not people running for every one. I'm very curious what happens in that situation. Who gets these positions? Do they just go
maybe runners
unfilled?
Up. Runners up from other...
Maybe they'll be given the option of taking on one of the other. But even then, I think we still might have some unfilled spaces.
Oh, definitely. Because I also think even if, say one person got beat out for, president or vice president and said, okay, well, what positions are also open? I think if they're, not to be controversial, But if they're a white, cis, heterosexual male, I don't know if I'd feel exactly comfortable having them represent the issues of racialized students, queer students, female students. It would feel a bit odd.
I think, I don't know that they get to run for those positions. Like, for example, the women's director represents the, concerns of the female students at the school. So you would think that you would have a female running for that position.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I am very curious as what will happen with that. I think they could shuffle things around. I think you could probably get some people, but I do think that, we're going to have some empty spaces, and I'm really curious to see, like, what's going to happen with that. Where do they go?
Where do they go?
Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe?
And I think, like, when you're voting, the union is an extension of you, the student. So you want someone that's going to represent you. For me, I think I would love to see more LGBT-friendly spaces on campus. I would love to see, not that we don't have a lot of Indigenous spaces on campus already, but I'd like to see them in a more open and accessible sort of space. Because a lot of the time, if an event is being held, I don't know about it until, afterwards.
You should really get on the socials, man.
I try.
It's all over there. I've seen so many events coming up.
Well, it was just Indigenous Week, so there was a lot of...
There was that.
There was a lot of promotion on that, but I mean, just,
There was a powwow back in October, I remember seeing.
Yeah.
There was, bannock cooking over an open fire. There's been a few things. I agree, there definitely could be more, but I guess that would be up to the, not just Busu, but also the IPC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, I think what I want Busu to look into more is having more campus events.
Yeah.
We're a very spiritless school, I feel.
Rip to be you.
Well, I just don't think, people really care that, they're oh, that I'm a BU student. It's no, I go to BU, but, I don't think it's, as big of a deal, as it is.
Unless you're, a diehard Bobcats fan.
Yeah, and I think you go to certain, university campuses across Canada, and you see, this, huge culture around it. They have many events, and they're
Looking
very
at you,
into
McGill.
It. McGill, Brock, Queen's, Western, all these universities, they're very, very out there with the events that they do, and they're very high-spirited, and I don't think that's something that we have at our school, and that's something that I would like to see. I mean, it's not high school, understandably, so you don't want it to be like that, but just maybe, some more events, and, if an event has to get canceled, then maybe try to reschedule it. I know that happened this past September during the orientation week. There was an event, I think it was a color war or something, that was canceled due to rain, and then that was just it.
Oh.
It was just canceled. And so I'd like to see, more events on campus, more things for students to do, make them actually want to be there.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, make sure, now that you're informed and a bit more educated, get to thinking and make sure you go out and vote. It is your right, and it is your democratic duty as a citizen and a student.
And I'm looking at you there, other faculties other than arts, because Busu actually releases the frequency of who votes more, and the art students greatly outnumber the voters of any other, faculty on campus. So definitely get out there. You want your voice represented. You want your voice heard.
But, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any ideas for future episodes or anything you'd like us to talk about or help you with, be sure to contact us by email at wheatqueens.bu@gmail.com or on social media at wheatqueensbu. And we hope you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Goodbye.